Welcome to the Great Plague, where we all suffer, not in silence, but loudly. Today I want to talk about Jesus. Did you know that Jesus was resurrected on the same date of his birth, December 25th? Now I know what you're thinking. Jesus was resurrected on Easter, which is not even a real date. However, I will explain about Easter later and what that really is. However, first, let me explain why Jesus was resurrected on December 25th. But first, before I begin, I know a lot of my listeners are very well informed, and you probably know this already. So I apologize if this is remedial. However, there are a lot of people who don't know this. In fact, I would say the vast majority of people who self-identify as Christians do not know what I'm about to tell you. So if you do know this already, please share the information with others. There's no shame in ignorance, quote-unquote ignorance, or just not knowing something. If you don't know something, you don't know something. And the truth is, a lot of this information has been kept hidden. It had been kept hidden for a very long time. This particular piece of information is not a secret at all anymore, and yet most people still don't know. So, did you ever wonder why Jesus was dead for 3 days before resurrecting? Why didn't he just pop right back up? The reason has to do with the winter solstice, aka the longest night, the point at which the earth is the furthest from the sun from one hemisphere. And it produces sort of an optical illusion in which the sun appears not to move on the vertical axis of the horizon for 3 days. In other words, it seems to be dead. It doesn't move. Of course, it is moving. We can't see it visually because of the ellipse, the shape of the ellipse in the orbit of the sun. So that is why Jesus is assassinated on December 25th, the winter solstice. Literally, solstice means soul still. Soul still, sun stop. The solstice is the sun stop. Okay? And after 3 days, it begins to visibly move again. And so that's why he's reborn after 3 days. And he's also born on that same day, December 25th. The winter solstice occurs when either of Earth's poles reaches its maximum tilt away from the sun. This happens twice yearly, once in each hemisphere. Since prehistory, the winter solstice has been a significant time of year in many cultures and has been marked by festivals and rites. In parts of Europe, it was seen as the symbolic death and rebirth of the sun. And this is the truth about organized religion. It's all based on astrology and astronomy. It's based on science. Organized religion is a means of codifying science and keeping it secret for a priesthood class while teaching it to the slaves as literal fairy tales. So the religionists who think that science is fake are wrong, and the scientists who think that religion is fake are also wrong, because they don't know how deeply their science is entwined with religion. All across the world. This is not just pertaining to Christianity, many cultures and religions, all organized religion. Let's just put it that way. Although the instance of the solstice can be calculated, direct observation is elusive. To be precise to a single day, observers must be able to view a change in azimuth or elevation than or equal to a very small. So the azimuth is what you're observing. It is the horizontal angle in relation to that vertical axis. So what is Easter? Easter is a feminine holiday that they've dressed up as a masculine holiday. Here's ChristianityFAQ.com. This is a Christian website. Some Christians and churches use the word Easter, yet some prefer to say Resurrection Sunday. Many Christians have used Easter for hundreds of years in reference to Jesus' resurrection. However, some don't like the term because of its association with early European paganism. And what is paganism? Paganism is just anything that's not monotheism. Paganism is kind of a useless word, frankly. Why does Resurrection Sunday happen once a year? Resurrection Sunday occurs every year in the spring, but the date changes because of how church leaders established the holiday. At the Council of Nicaea, the Western Church decided to celebrate Resurrection Sunday every year on the first Sunday following the new moon. So there you have it. Straight from Christianity FAQ, Easter is based on a moon cycle. Now they make it a little tricky, but it's always on Sunday, so you think it's sun related, but this is based on a moon cycle. So Easter is Ishtar, Easter is Aster, Easter is Astarte, and many more. It's a feminine holiday based on a moon cycle. Has nothing to do with Jesus whatsoever. But they had to make it into a masculine holiday. And at the same time, they're occulting the real date of Jesus' resurrection, which is December 25th. Because that's what monotheism is. You cannot have a female deity in monotheism. Right? So all the feminine deities and holidays become masculine ones. But you can't possibly believe that Easter is an actual historical date when it happens on any day between March 22nd and April 25th. You can't possibly believe that it's a historical date the same way that Jesus' birthday is supposed to be. So you mean to tell me that the day of Jesus' assassination is just whatever 3 days before this new moon? I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. You think people would figure this out, since they're literally telling you. So that's what it is. That's the truth about Easter, and that's the truth about the day that Jesus was resurrected, which was his birthday, December 25th. It's the Great Plague.